Good afternoon, softball fans, and welcome to Boca Raton, Florida for today's matchup between your Lynn University softball team, a doubleheader in Sunshine State Conference play against the visiting Tampa Spartans. So David Zarlinski will be joining me on the call shortly as he is working on the PA right now as we get set for this one after the Fighting Knights dropped yesterday's game 4-1. That lone run coming by way of a Liz Diaz home run. So Lynn has its work cut out for it and need to win both games today in order to take the series from Tampa. So the lineups, we'll run through those. The lineup for Tampa, who will be hitting in the top of the first. So it'll be Lexi Chevalier leading off. Batting second will be Emily Jansen. Third hitter, the center fielder Corinne Miner. Batting in the cleanup spot, number 44, Sam Worrell. Batting fifth is number 54, Maddie Farrell. The designated player today, number 15, Bailey Phillips, batting sixth. Pitcher on the mound, McKaylee Dooley will be batting seventh. Erica Matic batting eighth, the second baseman, and batting ninth, the shortstop, number 2, Stephanie Ballmer. And in left field will be Lauren Reyes in the 10 spot. And for Lynn, defensively, Veliz, Wyatt, and Diaz left to right in the outfield. And Purser, Costero, Aronson, Devesa at first, left to right in the infield, and Hastings behind the plate with Allison Jameston on the mound for Lynn today.
Now the non-starters for your Lynn University Fighting Knights. Number 5, Shannon Johnson.
So Jameston comes in with this one, the sophomore, with a 2.84 ERA, 4-8 record. 10 games started for Allison, 88 2/3 innings pitched. And opponents batting 287 against Jameston. And Lynn, when it does bat today, will have its work cut out for it against McKaylee Dooley. Comes in with a 1.24 ERA, 11-5 record, 101 1/3 innings pitched, and opponents batting just 190 against her, and 116 strikeouts in 101 innings. So Dooley can do it all as a pitcher, and we know we're going to see her in game one, and it's very possible we're going to see her again in game two today, depending on how the first game goes. But if Dooley's on her stuff, it'll be a tough game for Lynn. Obviously only able to score that one run yesterday, and that could be a trend that continues. It's going to take a real mistake-free game from the Fighting Knights to be competitive, and not only mistake-free, but they're going to have to find a way to take advantage of the opportunities that they do have, knowing that the opportunities against somebody like Dooley will be very few and far between.
Number 3, Grace Hastings. In the circle for the blue and white, number 7, the right-handed pitcher, Allison Jameston. The Fighting Knights are coached by
So,
Bill Moore.
about set with the lineups here. Got this one started about 15 minutes early, so don't think that you had the game time wrong. Just decided to get it started a little early with impending weather. So now we will turn it over to the PA here for the playing of our national anthem. One out here in the top of the first. That one swung on and skied on the infield, and Devesa will make the play. So Jameston able to work a big pop-up there, and now 2 outs. As you can see her way out of the trouble with the third baseman, number 44, Sam Worrell, coming to the plate. 288 on the season for Worrell. 4 doubles, 2 home runs, and 15 RBIs. So leading RBI person on the Tampa squad, and rightfully so in that 4 spot. Pitch from Jameston is in there at the knees for strike 1. So good to see after working that last count 3-0. Jameston came back with 2 solid pitches and now starts this at-bat out with a strike at the knees.
And what Jameston's done well this season is when a runner gets on base, she doesn't let that affect her in the mind, and I think that's incredible for a pitcher.
That one hit well, but way foul, as Worrell was way out in front of that one. Maybe something off speed there from Jameston. So now she's ahead in the count 0-2. And this would be a big way to, kind of start out and set the tone in this game for Lynn. Is you gave up that leadoff base runner on an error. We talked about not making those mistakes. If you're able to kind of work your team out of the jam and not let the mistake come back to bite you, that bodes well for the rest of the game. That pitch swung on, and again, it was a high pitch there. And we've seen that Worrell has the ability to drive it, as that's another one that goes well foul down the third base line. But she got a good piece of it. Still 0-2.
We'll see if Jameston goes off speed and away, or see if she even tries to waste a pitch and get Worrell swinging maybe a high fastball.
The 0-2, and Jameston throws it right by her. That's the high fastball right there, Czar, and a good one. So that will get Lynn out of the top of the first after giving up that leadoff base runner. So we'll head to the bottom half with Lynn due up. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN.
Mackenzie Wyatt, Richmond, Virginia.
Shell Aronson, Chicago, Illinois.
Liz Diaz, Wesley Chapel, Florida.
Kayla Sheffield, Auburndale, Florida.
Mia Valise, Coral Springs, Florida.
Sophia Devesa, Pembroke Pines, Florida.
Brittany Purser, Davie, Florida.
Nat Castero, Miami, Florida.
Grace Hastings Widetic, Tampa, Florida.
Allison Jameston, Valrico, Florida.
All right, so Mackenzie Wyatt digging in against McKaylee Dooley to lead off the game for Lynn. You can see the batting order here shortly on your screen for the Fighting Knights today. Wyatt, Aronson, Diaz, Kayla Sheffield, Valise, Devesa, Purser, Castero, and Hastings, 1 through 9 for Lynn. And defensively for the Spartans, as that pitch is in there. So 1-1 now the count to Wyatt. But defensively, the Spartans left to right around the outfield, Reyes, Minor, and Chevalier. And around the infield, Worrell, Balmer, Maddich, and Jansen at first. And that's Farrell behind the plate. And, of course, Dooley on the mound. That pitch outside, so 2-1 here. Good to see Wyatt taking that patient approach at the plate. Trying to make sure, I know Dooley's numbers are impressive, but let's make sure she has it today before you just give it to her.
Yeah, impressive, and this is what Ari and I talked about yesterday a little bit, and these stats are from before yesterday's game, but keeping in mind, this is crazy almost. 108 and one-third innings of work, 8 walks.
Yeah, so knowing that she's going to come into the strike zone with the pitches, but not bailing her out. You get ahead in the count there, 3-1, and then Wyatt takes a good swing at a pitch. I mean, fouls it off, so now runs the count full. But that's what you want to see out of the Lynn hitters at the plate. Just because she's usually throwing strikes doesn't mean you just swing at every pitch that comes in. One swung on, hit well by Wyatt out into left center, but camping under it, ranging to her left and making the play is Reyes for the first out of the inning. But that's a good at-bat there by Wyatt, and that's what Lynn wants to see going forward.
Now batting, second baseman, number 10, Shale Aronson.
So now Shale steps in. The lefty Aronson comes in hitting .333. That's tops on the team. Started all 31 games. First pitch is right in there to Aronson. Count 0-1. Aronson with 31 hits, 8 doubles, a triple, and 12 RBI. So those were the numbers for Aronson coming into the series. And now the count is 1-1. So Lynn looking to work a base runner here, as Tampa was able to do. Luckily for Lynn, Jamison was able to strand that runner in scoring position. This one fouled off at the plate by Aronson. So 1-2 the count.
Yeah, Aronson was yesterday's player to watch, and she mentioned she has just changed her mentality at the plate. Not so much her actual approach with the bat, but more of believing in herself and knowing that the mental game is half the game in this sport.
Yeah, and I think if we have that, maybe we'll play that in between innings. It was a good player to watch interview that you did yesterday, Czar, with Shale, and she's showing, again, good patient approach at the plate. Looks like to me Dooley likes to get ahead in the count and then see if she can get the batters to chase that outside pitch. And so far, both Wyatt and Aronson making her come in. The 2-2 is outside again, so she's trying to live on the edge, but that call has not gone her way yet, as now the count is full. So Aronson's going to see a pitch to hit here. The full count pitch is a good one. Aronson down the left field line. It's hit a long way, but again, just enough space out there for Reyes as she makes the play on the warning track for the second out. But Lynn hitting the ball hard early,
Now batting,
as
right fielder, number 6,
yesterday's
Liz
lone
Diaz.
player to pick up an RBI, Liz Diaz, who homered for the first time this season yesterday. I know it was good to see for Liz. She kind of came into the season as a power hitter, but really just hasn't found that power quite yet. But yesterday, getting off the schneid with the home run, and we'll see if she can make it 2 days in a row here as she fouls the first pitch straight back to the screen for strike one.
Yeah, we've mentioned how dominant Dooley's been in the circle, but she's allowed 5 home runs this season, and the senior has allowed 4 home runs in every previous season. So she came in to yesterday's game, 4 home runs in her senior year, junior, sophomore, and freshman year, which is kind of aesthetically pleasing to look at.
That pitch is low to Diaz, so 1-1 the count. But yeah, I mean, 2 good at-bats to start the game by both Wyatt and Aronson. Weren't rewarded for it, but still, that's what you like to see at the plate. Swung on and missed as that pitch from Dooley, as I think that was the off-speed, and Diaz was way out in front. So now the count 1-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, as it looks like over to my right, the men's basketball game is just about set. Looks like the lineups are going on over there at Nova. That one is inside to Diaz.
Yeah, what we'll be looking at from Dooley is
2-2 the count.
an effective rise ball from her that she's been able to go to yesterday. She went to it a lot with 2 strikes and an off-speed pitch, but she likes to work the outside of the plate, and that's where she's effective.
The 2-2 fouled off at the dish by Diaz. So, again, 3 good at-bats to start off the game. And if you're Dooley, it doesn't look like Lynn's going to be an easy out today, as both Aronson and Wyatt did a good job. And I think, like you said, that was what the girls had talked about coming into the series, knowing what Dooley's like. The 2-2 on, she does use the rise ball, and Diaz is down on strikes. So that will do it for the first as we head to the second with no score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN.
I'm here with Shale Aronson. Shale, you've been hitting 500 over your last 8 games. How have you changed your approach at the plate?
Honestly, I really haven't changed my approach as much as my mindset has changed, like my mentality up there. It's just to be confident and be aggressive right on the first pitch.
Coach Still's changed the lineup throughout the last few games, moving people up and down the batting order. How has that affected the team's mentality?
I wouldn't say it like affects us. I think it's more of a trying to change your mental game. It's not like a physical thing. It's more of a mental fact. And she does it. I say it worked, so it's been working.
It definitely has worked. And lastly, you guys have lost the series opener in your last 2 SSC series, but you've come out with the win. How important is it to get the win on Friday against Tampa, and how are you going to do it?
It's very important to get the first win. We've battled, we've fought, we've lost, but we've always come back in the end. So for us to do it is we ought to be aggressive right at the first pitch, the first bat, the first inning, score first, score as many runs, get as many hits, and just be aggressive.
Thanks, Cheryl. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Back to you.
All right, so we're back here for the top of the second. You're able to see the player to watch interview with Shale Aronson with the Czar, as Darren Jurgen and David Zarlinski are on the call today for this game. And we're about set for the top of the second as Maddie Farrell digs in after Jameston was able to strand that runner, reached on an error in the first. Chevalier, first pitch is popped right up to her, and good communication there. It was a little late, but DeVesa moves over in front of Jameston. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the second.
There you go, looking at Jameston on your screen, but she's been effective, almost more effective for her when a runner gets on, because she just knows that every run counts, even more so I would say in softball than baseball, 60 feet away compared to 90 for the bases, and it's just a much more fast-paced game.
That one is low, so the count 1-0. But yeah, we talked about, especially against a guy or a pitcher like Dooley, it's going to be very important for Lynn to be sound defensively. The pitch swung on, and she was all over that, but way out in front was Bailey Phillips, the DP today. As she slashes this one down the third baseline, foul. Count is 0-1.
It'll be interesting how these Spartans actually come up to the plate in the third and fourth inning after facing Jameson for the first time around. Jameson throws a little bit harder than Sheffield, which is who they saw yesterday, and who they might see in Game 2 as well, as Jameson's now ahead 1-2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting on both sides whether we see the same pitchers in the second game today or whether pitchers are changed. As it looks like that game is tipped, and that one is swung on and missed there. So a strikeout for Phillips. And Jameston, that is her first,
Now batting the pitcher, number 9, McKaylee.
or her second of the game. So now 2 outs as McKaylee Dooley batting here. So Dooley doing the hitting and pitching today. Swung on by Dooley and hit out into left, and that's right for Valise. So a very quick inning as there's still no score. As you'll see Valise trot off the diamond, and we head to the bottom of the second. No score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN. Kayla Sheffield digs in, not pitching today, so Sheffield just in the lineup as a hitter. And Sheffield at .224 with 19 hits And 3 doubles, 3 home runs. Pitch to Sheffield is out for ball 1.
Sheffield looking to improve on the day that she had yesterday. She struck out 3 times to Dooley, and Dooley knows that in the circle, and Sheffield knows that in the box. And we'll see if Sheffield can come back, and we already see her being aggressive.
Yeah, that one fouled off at the plate, so 1-1 the count. You know, I always think it's a difficult job for a pitcher to be in the lineup, as you're kind of focused on the whole game. I mean, you have to make sure that you're good when you get up at the plate, but also when you're out in the field. So maybe Sheffield, a little bit more simplified role today, just out there hitting and knowing what she needs to do. And like you said, she's going to have a chip on her shoulder after striking out, especially being a pitcher, after striking out 3 times. That one swung on, fouled off, so last pitch was a ball, and the count is now 2-2. Outfielders playing pretty much straight away for Sheffield, right-hand batter. Batting 4th today with Valise on deck. That one fouled off, so now 2-2. Maybe Valise, I know she's got good speed and can get a bunt down, so if Sheffield can find a way on, got Valise who can surely move her over, maybe even bunt for her own hit. So Lynn is going to have to think like that today. Play that small ball and see what comes out of it. That one swung on and lifted by Sheffield, out of play. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, and we'll see if Sheffield does get on. What Coach Moore would like to do when the Fighting Knights score first, they're 10-8. When their opponent scores first, like Tampa did yesterday, they're 4-10. So I think that definitely does do something for the momentum on this team.
That pitch is high, so now full count. Good AB here by Sheffield. We'll see if she can work her way on. Another thing I noticed from the game summary that we're looking at is it's really been that 5th and 7th inning. Lynn's been outscored 31-13 in the 5th and 21-9 in the 7th. So those have been the 2 innings, and like you said, as the game progresses, we'll see how things go. But Sheffield is retired on that pitch by Dooley, so still has not been able to solve. The outstanding pitcher from Tampa, who picks up her 2nd K, and now Mia Valise will bat.
Yeah, coming into the series with 116 strikeouts. Dooley had 5 yesterday, so now 123.
That pitch swung on by Valise, lifted out into left. It's going to hang up there, and Reyes will make the play. So we've seen all 3 left-handed hitters late on the pitch for one way or another. Maybe it's just that throwing that outside as Devesa is going to come up for Lynn. But interesting to see how, especially with the lefties, Dooley is right on the edge of the plate. And a good approach shown by Lynn, but just haven't been able to hit one hard anywhere. As all 3 lefties, Wyatt, Aronson in the 1st inning, and now Valise in the 2nd, have all lifted that ball out to left field. So I guess that's kind of the approach you got to take if Dooley is getting that outside strike call. First pitch fouled off by Devesa. The 0-1. That one swung on, and it's another pop-up. Under it will be Matic. And just like that, we're through 2 innings here as we head to the 3rd. No score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Jameston finishing up her warm-up as she will face Matic, Balmer, and Chevalier here in the 3rd inning. So that's 8, 9, and 1. Matic, of course, the second baseman, who was able to get that last out of the inning. But it looks like we're all set to go. Meeting in the circle for the Fighting Night infielders. As Jameston's been rolling, he's got to keep it going. And like David alluded to, that first part, or that second time through the order, which Jamestown will tackle that here with Chevalier when she comes up. That's kind of that time where hitters can usually figure you out, or you might have to make some adjustments in order to get them out. First pitch is just inside. Count now 1-0.
Just a quick update.
To Matic.
Just a quick update for you Fighting Night fans at home, just all around. Lynn fans, Lynn basketball, as Darren mentioned, in the NCAA South Regional Preliminary Round, they are down 13-7 against the UAH Chargers.
Yep, so that game occurring over in Fort Lauderdale as part of the South Regional. The first round hosted by Nova Southeastern, the region's #1 seed. And the Fighting Knights are looking to reverse their fortunes at Nova. 0-2 there this year. 1 in facing Nova, and 1 a loss to Florida Southern in the Sunshine State Conference semifinals. So the Rick Case Arena hasn't exactly been kind to Lynn, but they're looking to reverse that here in the opening round game with University of Alabama in Huntsville, otherwise known as UAH, the Chargers. Ari on the call with that one today, but hopefully for the Fighting Knights, they can pull themselves out of this little early hole. 2-1 is the count here to our hitter, Matic. Jamestown comes home, and that's the off-speed pitch as Matic is swinging and will miss. That's a big swing and miss there from Matic. So now Jamestown's gone with some sort of changeup. Maybe we'll see her now with that hard high one. Yes, we do. And, it's just out. Good eye by Matic, but we saw Jamestown pick up a strikeout in the last inning in a very similar way. Kind of use that off-speed pitch to set the hitter up and then just throw it right by him. The full count pitch is swung on and fouled down the third base line. So we will do the full count offering again. Jamestown set the 3-2, swung on, and it's going to get out of play as it bounds into the parking lot. Oh, watch your car. As someone will have a nice yellow spot on their vehicle after that foul ball.
A dangerous place to park a car, people.
Yeah, I would definitely not be parking anywhere close, but I guess you take the good with the bad. You get a spot right next to the field, but you have to know what that means. So full count pitch again. Here to Matic, who's had a good at-bat so far. That one swung on, hit well out into right. Diaz with a long run, and she makes the play. So Diaz looked like she couldn't decide whether to dive, slide, or just fall, but ended up just kind of falling into it, and Lynn will take it. That's one of those 50-50 plays that maybe Diaz doesn't always come up with that ball, but when you do come up with it, you start to feel like, it could be your game today. As Diaz with a great play out there in right field. Albeit a little indecisive, but she'll certainly take it, and so will Lynn, as that is the first out in the inning. And Balmer, the 9-hitter, due up. She tries to lay a bunt down. It's a good one, but smartly done by Hastings, picking it up as it rolled just foul for strike one. Own 1 the count as Jamestown looks to get her way through the entire order without giving up a hit or really a walk. The only base runner Tampa's had was courtesy of that error in the first inning.
You're not supposed to mention that so early in the game.
She's almost through the order, so this will be the one chance for me to jinx it. As this is the 9-hitter here, that one is on the corner. So I think the count 1 and 2. Fouled one off at the plate, and then the next one. Yep, looks like our umpire indicating it's 0-2. That pitch is outside. Not sure how Matic laid off or Balmer laid off that one.
Yeah, good job by the batter, ignoring that. Almost like a slider there from Jamestown.
Yeah. Good mixing of pitches shown here by Allison, and just doing a solid job all around on the mound. And you kind of have to know coming into the game that it's going to take your best. Come away against a pitcher like Dooley. That one is fouled off of Balmer. So another good at bat here.
Jameson's pitched really well in the circle so far today. I mean, you mentioned how the Spartans have fared against her, but 33 pitches, 23 strikes, 10 balls.
Yeah, and she's gotten herself down in the count, and she's worked. The Tampa hitters have not been easy to retire. They've worked a few full counts or a few counts where she easily could have let the batter get away from her and, give up a few walks or a hit, but she's been solid, and she's been making that one pitch you need when you need it. And this is kind of that spot again here with 2 strikes where you need that pitch. That one swung on, hit well, but camping under it easily will be the left fielder Valise. And now there are 2 outs here in the inning. So Chevalier, this is the lone base runner that Tampa has had today. That pitch swung on and missed there by Jameston, so she's ahead in the count, and that was the off-speed. Now we'll see if she can retire Chevalier, who reached on an error by Purser back in the first, but then was stranded out there in scoring position as Jameston was kind of able to deliver that shutdown performance. And the pitch swung on, and this one, I think, it's going to find its way over Castero's head and out into left field. So that's a hit for Chevalier. She's now been on base both times she's been at the plate. And a 2-out hit for the Spartans, which will bring Emily Jansen to the plate.
Spartans, first baseman number 19, Emily Jansen.
Jansen dropped a bunt down last time up. That one is outside. Bunted back to Jameston, which moved Chevalier over to second, but she had that luxury with nobody out coming up last time. Now she's got 2 outs, going to have to get a hit or work away on somehow to keep this inning alive. That pitch is low, and it'll get away from Hastings for a second, and that'll allow Chevalier to advance to second base. So tough one there, as Hastings could only keep it in front. It got enough away. And, with the short distance between the bases, the ball gets away from the catcher, very high chance that the batter or the base runner will take off. So now Chevalier in scoring position. And Jansen has a job to do here with 2 outs with the runner in scoring position. Can pick up a hit, you would imagine. Chevalier, especially at the top of the lineup, good enough speed will come home. That one fooled Jansen. So now 1-2 the count to her. That was the first hit of the game. Chevalier there with 2 outs. So you talked about the second time through the order. Well, second time through the order has happened now, and Chevalier picks up a hit right on cue.
I wonder if it's because you mentioned that the Spartans didn't have a hit.
First time through they didn't.
I'm blaming you.
First time through they didn't. Second time through they had one, but that's all for now as DeVesa makes the play in foul territory, and that will retire the side here in the top of the third. So we head to the bottom half with no score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN. All right, so Lynn now trying to solve.
Leading off the bottom of the third for the Fighting Knights, number 15, the third baseman,
Dooley
Brittany Purser.
here as 7-8-9 will be due up for the Fighting Knights. Purser, Castero, and Hastings. That one is grounded. Skied by Purser, and one pitch, one out here for Dooley in the inning.
Now batting the shortstop, number 12, Natalie Castero.
So now Nat Castero come up. So that was Purser attempting a bunt here, but she was retired to begin the inning. Bunted that one back to the pitcher, but a nice play made there by Dooley. So Lynn trying to get something going as Castero lifts this one out into center, but camping under it is Minor, and Dooley is no surprise dealing here as she's now set 8 Fighting Knights down in order and has a chance to get her way through the first time through the lineup without giving up a single base runner, let alone a hit. So it's Grace Hastings that could change that. Hastings getting the start behind the plate. And we've seen Michaela Caballero back there, but today it's going to be Grace Hastings. First pitch to her is in there for a strike. So much can be the case with most good pitchers. You usually see them, the best pitchers, gain strength as the game goes. And it looks like Lynn has taken the lead.
Shout out to Ryan Peterson for
in the
drawing a
basketball
3.
game. And Peterson with a 3 over there. So that one swung on and missed by Hastings. So she's down in the count 0-2, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. As Dooley looks to be on her game today, at least the first time through the lineup. And just got to try to find some way to find a chink in the armor. That one is high, so 1-2 now the count. Hastings at just 189, 7 hits on the season, 1 double, 3 RBIs for the freshman. Pitch, Hastings fouls it off at the plate. Count remains at 1-2. Yep, so just 1 hit so far in this game. 2 base runners for Tampa, 1 in the first and 1 in the third. And it was the same person. Chevalier is the only one who's been on base so far. That one swung on by Hastings and fouled down the right side. So the count remains at 1-2. Pitch swung on and missed by Hastings. So that is a perfect 9 for 9 through the order. The first time up for Dooley as we head to the fourth with still no score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Lynn Softball on LSN.
I'm the Director of Athletic Communications at Lynn University. This September, we're going to be launching the Lynn's
What's up, girls? How's everything going?
Oh, hey, Chad. I didn't know anybody was working this weekend.
Are you okay? You need a power bar, Powerade, towel?
No, we're okay. Thanks.
Okay. Keep up the good work.
So Corinne Minor digs in, the 3-hitter for the Spartans, who popped out to DeVesa in the first. As we are rolling here already, the top of the fourth. Game did start at 11:45 for those of you who were not aware, started a little early with some weather moving into the area later in the day, but just want to make sure we get them both in. That pitch high.
If you're not aware, follow us on Twitter at Lynn_Knights. My mom's listening. She
Perfect.
was not aware.
Perfect plug.
And that's why she doesn't follow Lynn Knights on Twitter.
Lynn_Knights for all your Lynn Fighting Night needs. Also, visit our website at www.lynnfightingnights.com. Should be pretty easy to remember. As looking for more engagement, if you have anything to say on to us as the broadcasters today, we'll be checking that on social media periodically. That one is fouled down the right side. So 2-1. The count now here, as that was the first strike of the at-bat to Minor. Really, it's been what we expected, a pitcher's duel so far. And it's continuing here into the fourth. Pitch is low and left there by Minor, so now 3-1 the count. So this is what we've seen out of Jamestown a few times. Worked a few 3-1, 3-0 counts, but she's made the pitches when it mattered most. And this is now, again, you don't want to give up the leadoff base runner here, especially this second time through the order. That one swung on and hit well, but Castero plays it on a hop. Nice throw as she charges, and Snap throws over to first base. So Castero showing aggression out in the field and is rewarded with a perfect play. They're ranging to her left behind the pitcher, Jamestown, and makes a strong throw over to first base. And a score update with 5:31 left in the first half in the first round of the NCAA South Regional. Alabama and Huntsville 26, and your Fighting Knights 24, as that one is fouled down the third baseline. Count is 0-1. See if we can get you a replay of that play by Castero.
But we'll be here right after we have a pause and a pitch.
Once we get a little bit of a break, softball, tough time to find replay, time to play replays as the game moves quick. This one on the ground, Purser is on it, throws across the diamond to DeVesa, and that will erase Whirl, as that'll bring Farrell now to the plate, and Jamestown continues to work in the circle here as she's got 2 outs in the top of the fourth.
Here's Castero's throw. Takes 4 seconds. We'll see how quickly Jamestown throws a pitch, but good play from Castero, coming right behind Jamestown, backing her up, and just coming through and charging and making an on-target throw to DeVesa.
First pitch to Farrell is high for a ball. It was close, but yeah, I mean, the real difference with that play there by Castero is if you wait on it and have any type of indecision, you're going to be too late.
Yep,
Castero charges it right away, takes control of it, as a shortstop should, kind of that quarterback of the infield, takes control of it and makes the play, and showed that good little snap throw. For softball, you don't really always have to pull the arm all the way back and launch it like you would see in baseball. You can kind of just throw it right from the shoulder area, and Castero did a great job there on that one. 1-1 into Farrell is low. Hastings keeps in front, so now 2-1. That's probably now the second play today, our Reddies are, that we've seen them go the other way a lot. That play by Castero, the play by Diaz in right field before, easily those could have both gone for hits for Tampa, and that could have changed the game. That one swung on and looped out into center field for a base hit. So, again, right on cue, that's where if Castero lets that ball up the middle, Lynn's in big trouble, probably first and third with just 1 out. But Nat making that great play. Still have 2 outs, as that's Tampa's second hit of the day, albeit a weak one, but it finds the grass in center. So Farrell gets aboard with 2 outs, and now Bailey Phillips at the plate. Phillips struck out looking on one of those good outside fastballs by Jamestown. She tries to go there with the first pitch, and yeah, she hits the corner. Wow. Nice job by Hastings to frame that. Looked a little outside. She brought it right back in. So 0-1, a big first strike here to Phillips. Jamestown set, and the pitch is bounced in there. Hastings keeps it in front. Farrell not the fastest runner, but she will make it in safely to second base. As it was a bang-bang play, but Farrell was ahead of the throw. And usually that means you're pretty safe as the base runner, and safe she was called. So 1-1 the count after that one bounced in there. And we'll maybe be able to get a replay of that here shortly. But now, again, Jamestown there have been a few runners in scoring position. Actually, now this is the third of 4 innings that Tampa's had a runner in scoring position. Chevalier was stranded on second twice, and now you got Farrell out there in the fourth. Important for Jamestown to be good, as that one was way outside. Nice job by Hastings to keep it from going behind. Count is 2-1. That pitch swung on and fouled right back by Phillips. So now, Jamestown runs the count to 2-2, 2 outs in the fourth.
I'd like to see Jamestown go with her off-speed pitch, which has fooled a few Spartan hitters, and I believe Phillips as well.
Yeah, Phillips struck out on one of those hard fastballs on the outside corner, but in that last at-bat between Phillips and Jamestown, she set her up with a few of those off-speed pitches, which he was way out in front, hit him down the third base line, and then mix the fastball in. She does that again, and this one's hit well, but just foul, as she was only a little bit out in front of it this time. It was the off-speed pitch, and she's barely out in front.
Here's a look of what Jameson's off-speed has done to some of these batters. You see her so out in front.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what you're looking for as far as being a pitcher is mixing speed. So now you've gone with the off speed. She's way out in front of it, or just out in front of it, enough for Lynn. And the count is now 2-2. Remains at that. The 2-2 pitch is inside, and it hit her. So thought maybe she needed to make some sort of effort to get out of the way, but maybe not much you can do.
Only the 4th hit batsman this season for Jamestown and over 90 innings of work.
Yep, so good stat there, Czar. But now Phillips on first and Farrell on second. And now it's Dooley with a chance to help herself out in a major way. And for a pitcher like Dooley, if she can get a hit here, she might feel like she's going to win the game. If she can get one run across, that could be enough.
And you mentioned hitting and pitching the same game. This is what's good about it. You can help yourself out, and that brings confidence and motivation into you.
Pitch is in there, 0-1. You can certainly help yourself out. It might give you a little bit of adrenaline if you're able to kind of pick up a few hits. I think it's a tough task to ask a pitcher not only to throw the whole game, but that one's low, so 1-1 the count to Dooley, but not only to throw the whole game, but also to get it done at the dish. And she comes up, inevitably, she's the pitcher today, and she comes up in the biggest spot at the plate of the game, at least so far. Jamestown, the 1-1. Swung on by Dooley, and she does help herself with a single through the right side. I think the runners are going to have to hold. Farrell not with the best wheels, so she stops at third. So that'll now load the bases. Farrell, Phillips, and Dooley, third to first. And now Matic will bat in a big spot. Looks like Jill, Coach Moore, are going to go out there just to talk to Jamestown. Would imagine she will not be given the hook this early.
No,
she's been fine. I don't see anyone warming up for Lynn, so she'll stay out there. Just a matter of talking to her through this at-bat with Matic. And like you said, you know that in this game, it's already the 4th inning. Lynn does not have a hit yet, so every run is going to be at a premium and very, very important, as Lynn's got to find a way to hold Tampa from scoring here in this 4th. So still in the top of the 4th here, 2 outs, and the biggest batter of the game now, Matic, comes up with the bases loaded against Jamestown. First pitch is the off-speed. I don't think Matic was expecting that, or maybe was just willing to take a pitch, but she takes a strike right down the middle.
And Matic, good hitter you want to have up here if you're the Fighting Knights in Jamestown. You have to have a bases loaded hit this season or a hit with the runners in scoring position.
That pitch swung on, fouled at the plate. It's off Matic. So 0-2, Jamestown working quickly.
We'll see if she goes back to that off speed, knowing Matic was way ahead of it.
Yeah, now you have a lot of room to play here. You're ahead 0-2. You definitely don't want to give Matic a pitch to hit, as you know how important and how detrimental a hit would be here for Lynn today.
She's 1 for 9 on the season.
Matic will swing at this one. It's fouled down the right side, and it'll just get onto the roof of the Lynn dugout. So the count's still 0-2. DeVesa was giving chase. But so Jameson looked like she tried to hit that outside corner. The 0-2 pitch from Jameson is outside. Nice job by Hastings to go out there and get it. But I like the location on that pitch. You don't need to come in with anything. And you know how important it is to retire Matic here with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Might as well pick around the strike zone a bit and see if you can get Matic to chase. The 1-2. Matic pops this one up, and it's out of play. So Lynn thought maybe it was out of this inning there. That one just gets over the screen and finds its way out of play. Matic digs back in, and we will see the 1-2 again. Top of the lineup due up for Lynn in the next inning. Wyatt, Aronson, and Diaz. As the Fighting Knights look for their first hit, but there's a big strikeout for Jameson as Lynn escapes the inning unscathed, and we head to the bottom of the 4th, still with no score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Knights Softball on LSN. All right, Czar, so this is what you talked about. Second time through the order. Tampa's had some success, although not able to score yet. But Lynn now needs to get something going. It's been held hitless through the first 3 innings. And not just hitless, but base runner-less, as Lynn hasn't had a person aboard. Dooley has retired 9 straight batters. And now Wyatt comes up. That pitch is also outside to Wyatt. So this is what I noticed for the left-handed hitters in the lineup especially. Dooley's not going to come in anywhere on that inside part of the plate with the pitch. So you've got to take that approach like it's going to go away. This time she does come in. It's hit hard, but absolutely a rocket right at Chevalier, who makes the play. So Wyatt and Aronson, who's batting next, have really had what I've seen as the 2 best at-bats of the day for Lynn. Well, now the 3rd with Wyatt batting for the 2nd time there. So now we'll see if Aronson can kind of get a hold of one as Wyatt did. Aronson flew out to left field in the 1st. First pitch to Aronson, swung on, hit hard at the shortstop. Balmer, she has a tough time handling it, but stays with it, and will throw across the diamond to make the play on Aronson. So quickly, 2 outs for Dooley. She continues to fool the Lynn hitters and that's going to bring Liz Diaz to the plate. So Wyatt and Aronson set down to begin the inning, but 2 hard hit balls. One from Wyatt that was snared out there and right by Chevalier. And honestly, that other one was pretty hard hit. Balmer had a tough time handling it, but she was able to recover quickly to make the throw. First pitch to Diaz is outside.
I would argue that ball that Wyatt hit to Chevalier and right was probably the hardest hit ball in fair territory the entire game from any team.
Yep, no argument for me. I think that's an accurate assessment. As count is 2-0 now to Diaz. So the second time through, it looks like at least the Lynn lineup seeing the pitches from Dooley a little better. That one is in there, and Diaz knew it. So 2-1 the count.
Just an in-game update for the basketball fans. Lynn is down 2 against Alabama in Huntsville, 41-39 at the half.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats. Alabama, Huntsville, 7 for 12 from deep. So hopefully maybe they catch a little cold stretch. That's really been the only difference in the game. Field goal percentage about even. Lynn leading in the free throw category, which no surprise. Lynn's good at getting the ball to the bucket. So we'll see if in the second half maybe the free throws start to go Lynn's way and the three-pointers as well. But that one in there on the outside corner as Diaz goes down looking. And we are already heading to the 5th, still with no score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN.
For 50 years, Lynn University has been home to thousands of students around the globe. They have forged their legacy here through spirit, service, and strength.
Because of your generosity, close to 80% of Lynn students receive financial assistance from the Lynn community.
For your graduation gift, what's better than extending the gift of education to those who need it most?
Alumni Pay It Forward scholarships make it possible for students to receive financial assistance to attend college. Support this life-changing gift today.
I pay it forward.
I pay it forward.
I pay it forward.
Back here for the 5th inning, and we're rolling right along. And that's what happens when you got 2 pitchers that have done an outstanding job in the circle. And Stephanie Balmer, so 9-1-2 due up for Tampa. So now it'll be the 3rd time through the lineup for Jameston here in the 5th. And Zard, this is one of those innings, the 5th. Lynn's been outscored 31-13 in the 5th. As crazy as that is, the 5th inning has not been kind to the Fighting Knights. So they got to find a way here. As that one is fouled off, and Purser gives chase, but she would have had to climb the dugout in order to make that play.
Stranger things have happened.
She'll let it go. I don't know if she's got any Spider Woman in her, but she would have needed to try to go superhero mode to catch that one. But instead, it's a foul ball off the top of the Tampa dugout. Count is 0-1. Jameston with that ERA now down to 2.72, and again, it hasn't been for her that the game's still tied. She just hasn't gotten much help from the offense, as Lynn is yet to have a base runner in the game. That one is outside, so 1-1 the count. Here to Balmer. Jameston with 3 strikeouts so far and has not walked a batter. That pitch is high. 2-1 now. Scoreboard not exactly in the best location for us from here. As, granted, not the tallest, but I kind of have to get up on my tippy toes to even see it.
You said it, not me.
Out there in left field. Well, I've had to come to terms with it a long time ago. So that one fouled down the third base line. Count now 2-2. Looks like a little conversation here. So mid-AB conversation here between, I believe that's the head coach, Leslie Canner, And the batter, Balmer, maybe she saw something in Balmer's approach, trying to get her to change. Or maybe just talking a little strategy, but 2-2 pitch coming here. Balmer flew out to left, was Valise. Put a good charge into one, but flew out to left. So Balmer pretending like she's going to square around, but I know she's going to pull it back and try to slap one, and she thought about it. That was high. Full count now. And I guess just squaring around a bunt, that kind of just changes the defensive alignment a little bit.
I think
sometimes it can catch them off guard if you pull it back and swing.
I think with the count she had, nice pitch from Jameson there.
Yeah, Balmer kind of tried to show up the ump and walk right down to first base, and he wasn't having it. Punches her out. So that is now Jameston's 4th strikeout, and that'll bring the top of the lineup, and really the one person that has been successful at the plate today, Lexi Chevalier, has reached base both times, once on an error, so officially 1 for 2. Chevalier now at 274. She swings on this one, served out into right, but nope, it's going to be just shallow enough that the second baseman, Aronson, can settle under it. And quickly 2 outs now here for Jameson in the top of the 5th. So the terrible 5th, not out of it yet, but off to a good start. As now that's going to be Emily Jansen. 0 for 1 on the day is Jansen. Sacrificed in the first and was retired her last time up. Jansen swings on this one, gives it a ride down the left field line, but it's foul once again. That got the Tampa dugout up and excited, as you could hear it. She put a charge into it, but foul. And we've seen that out of Jamestown today, honestly. You said, of the hard-hit balls in fair territory, there haven't been any. But there have been a few balls hit well foul. But that's Jamestown doing a good job mixing pitches. If it's not in between the lines, it really doesn't matter what it looks like. And so she's going to try to go low with this pitch, and it's now 1-1 to Jansen. She fouled out to DeVesa in the third after sacrificing, moving Chevalier to second in the first. Top of the 5th here.
If any of you are curious, after this pitch, I'll let you know.
That one swung on and served out into right. It's a tweener, and Diaz again makes the play. So this time more on the headlong dive as Diaz playing an outstanding right field. And we will head to the bottom half of the 5th with still no score here from Boca Raton thanks to some great Fighting Night defense. You're watching Lynn Softball on LSN.
Here at the Lynn Sports Network, we put an emphasis on our interns to work just as hard in the classroom as they do on the courts. Sometimes, though, it gets a little competitive.
Hey, you just crossed the line.
No, I didn't. I was right here. Look, this is the line.
You just crossed this line, yeah.
No, I've been all the time in the limit. I wasn't out.
No, you did.
No, that was not out. That wasn't out.
Can we get a ruling?
Ask him. He's a ref. Ref, you gotta be kidding. I was right here. I was using my mouse. I was in my space. Okay, ref. We need to talk about this, man. Okay. I was right here. I was using my space. Are you sure? Are you sure, ref? Are you sure? This is crazy.
Sometimes you can take the player out of the game, but not the game out of the player.
First pitch as we're back for the 5th. A nice bunt laid down, but the play is made in time. So that was Sheffield trying to bunt for a base hit. It was a good one, but a better play made there by Tampa to retire Sheffield as now Mia Valise comes to the plate.
Number 9, Mia Valise.
Lauren Pasco replaced Chevalier out in right, and we were told as Valise slaps one down the line, and a nice play is made by the shortstop, Balmer, who was all over it, and ranges towards the left field line. making the play just in foul territory, as now that's going to bring up Sophia DeVesa. 2 outs already in the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting for Lynn, the first baseman, number 22, Sophia DeVesa.
First pitch to DeVesa is low for ball 1. Yeah, Sheffield trying to get aboard. So that's kind of what Lynn knows it's facing. That one swung on by DeVesa and fouled back, so 1-1 the count. But Sheffield, your 4-hitter, trying to lay a bunt down, just trying to get on base any way possible. Pitch to DeVesa, fouled off at the plate. So now 1-2 quickly. Yeah, really just a clean played game here by both sides. Some good defense from both teams. And some great pitching, obviously, by both Jamison and Dooley. That one swung on, and Dooley continues to do it as it's grounded over to Worrell. She makes the throw across the diamond, and we head to the 6th. Still no score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN. Top 6, Corinne Miner leading off, 3-hitter for the Spartans. As we're still no score after 5, Miner has popped out to first and grounded out to short in the 1st and 4th innings, respectively. Both teams really just looking to get something going at the plate. Tampa did threaten in the 4th, but Jamison was able to escape it, and really that's been the only trouble that either pitcher has ran into during this game. Now it swung on at the plate and fouled off of Miner for strike 1.
Second half is underway at Nova between Lynn and University of Alabama in Huntsville. Lynn down 2. Don't leave us, but if you have a phone next to you, head over and watch that game. Just keep us on your screen, please.
Yeah, you're able to multitask. Beauty of the digital network. That one is in there for a strike. So 2 quick strikes here to lead off the at-bat with Miner. And I feel pretty comfortable in saying that 1 run is probably going to win this game here. We're already in the 6th. That pitch is outside to Miner, so 1-2. We're already in the 6th, so really only 2 more innings of regulation to play. And Dooley doesn't show any signs of stopping, and Jameston's equal to her in this one. The 1-2 pitch is low, so 2-2 now the count.
Jameson now has 81 pitches under her belt, but if you think that's a lot, she's thrown over 160 in a game earlier this season.
Yeah, so Jameson can go the whole game, and we know Dooley can as well. So again, this has the makings of a 1-0 game.
Yeah, Jameson with 7 complete games in her 10 starts. Dooley with 13 complete games in 15 starts, excuse me.
13 complete games in 15 starts. Wow, so pretty much automatic to go the full game. That pitch swung on and fouled down the right field line, so it's a full count. Here has been to Minor. Again, important that Jameson continues to come into the zone with strikes. He's been great with that today. And even when the count's been full or she's had a couple three-ball counts, been able to deliver that pitch when it matters. Again, does so, and this one's popped up behind the plate. Hastings has to let it go as it'll get out of play. Count still full. Minor. Looks like the Fighting Knights have taken the lead over there. At least temporarily, up by 1 with 19 left in the second half as they look to advance to the second round, which will be tomorrow if they are able to do so against Team to be determined. They were the first game of the day in the regional. That one is inside. Home plate up moved quickly as if he was going to punch her out, and then he decides that she will take first base. So that's the first walk of the day for Jamestown. And that's the time that you do not want it. As she walks the batter to lead off the sixth here.
I do want to give a quick
now let's see if
shout-out
Tampa plays some small ball.
as we're updating fans on basketball. Former baseball alumni Pat Dorian has just been signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates onto their roster. So congratulations to Dorian.
Yeah, great stuff. Former as in last season. Played over here at Lynn. So pretty quick rise for Dorian. Gets drafted and then eventually gets signed, and I'm sure he'll be in the minors for them.
He played
this year.
He played in the minors last year, and he was stellar, I believe, in single and double A, and looks like he's getting bumped up a little bit, and hopefully he can play in the bigs shortly. We'll see if Worrell squares the bunt again.
Worrell does square to bunt, and Jameson has a tough time fielding it, and everyone's going to be safe. That's going to be an error on Jameson. And a tough spot to make one, as now you got first and second with nobody out here in the sixth.
Now batting catcher number 54, Maddie Farrell. And here's how you have to rebound. We talked about the entire time. Errors have affected the Fighting Knights. And we'll see if Farrell lays down another bunt. Wouldn't be surprised right now, but Jameson did a good job to Worrell. She knew that she was bunting, and so she tried to keep the ball high, and she did a good job. Batter popped up the bunt, and Jameson was about 2 inches away from making the catch.
I think that's one of those where it's a tough play. You maybe, like you said, you might think that you're going to come up with it, but you've always got to have that plan in place if you don't come up with it on the catch to throw to first and try to get the batter. As soon as she didn't catch it, just kind of made a mess of it. Threw to second, and the runner was in there safely. So now it's first and second. Farrell, who's got a single in the game, is at the plate, and it is really go time now for Jamestown. She's in quite a jam here to begin the sixth. Farrell thinks about laying a bunt down. Sacrifice attempt, but it's high. So now the count is 1-0 to her. Just looking to move those runners over at the least. So, yeah, it looks like Dorian added to the active roster, so not sure if that means that he will be on the big league roster at the end of spring training, but certainly getting an opportunity to play with some of the guys that will be in the bigs. That one is fouled off at the dish. A bunt picked up by Hastings. Runners thought they were well in, but good attempt there by Farrell. It looks like she'll probably square around again as the third base coach is going to talk to the umpire here.
Maybe a pinch runner.
Maybe going to see a pinch runner. Interesting to pinch run in the middle of the at-bat, but that's what's going to happen, as it looks like that's number 11,
Pinch running for the Spartans,
Mackenzie Allen. So Allen will pinch run for Worrell. And again, these are the kind of moves you see made by a manager when they know that runs are going to be at a premium. 1 or 2 runs is going to win this game. So now it's going to be Farrell's job, I would assume, to drop a bunt down. Still with 1 strike, so 1-1 the count. It's going to be Farrell's job to drop a bunt down. Oh, she won't, and it's in there on the corner, 1-2. And that was, I think, Canner at third base, visibly frustrated with her hitter, Farrell. Didn't square around a bunt at all, and then the ball's in there for a strike, and you just let it go. That's a mental mistake.
We'll see if Jameson goes high here, try to get a swing in.
Now she's going to be swinging with 2 strikes, but that one's high. Like you said, tried to get her to chase. She laid off, so it's 2-2 the count.
That was also an off-speed pitch where if that hung a little bit more, that could have been a big mistake from Jameson.
The pitch swung on and fouled down the right side. So Farrell has proven in this game she's not going to be an easy out. And I love, you got to give some credit to Tampa softball's most recent tweet. McKaylee Dooley is dealing. The senior has 4 strikeouts, and you should check out the graphic. Doesn't want to mention that she currently has a no-hitter going.
We'll mention it plenty of times.
But we're going to keep talking about it.
Spartan fans.
We're going to keep talking about it, and hopefully that will reverse the jinx. But she doesn't just have a no-hitter going. She actually has a perfect game going right now. That one swung on by Farrell, hit well out into left, and it's going to find the wall in left center. This will allow Minor to come around, Allen to advance to third, and that is a big RBI single for Farrell. Picks up her second hit of the day, and Tampa gets itself on the board, taking a 1-0 lead. And now Phillips will bat here, as it looks like we're going to see another pinch runner. So Farrell is going to be pinch ran for by Brianna Taphouse.
Now batting designated player number 15, Bailey Phillips.
Sorry, Brianna
Pinch running
Taphouse, the senior from Glendale, New York, and the Frank Sinatra School of the Arts. So pretty sweet high school, can imagine. As Brianna Taphouse pinch running on first. So Allen was able to advance to third. Not sure the pinch running worked out really in any type of advantage there. Runner probably would have gone first to third on that drive to the fence. But now you've got that speedy runner instead of Farrell. You've got Allen with some good speed on third. And really, for Phillips, more than anything, just try to lift the ball to the outfield. That pitch swung on and missed by Phillips as Jameson gets ahead. But I think that's what you talk about, especially in a tight game. It's just those 1 or 2 mistakes that can come back to hurt you. Lynn makes an error in the inning on what should have been a sacrifice bunt, but instead allows runners on first and second, and that opens up for a big inning. Castero decides to throw home. Runner's going to be in a rundown. Hastings has got it. She goes to Purser. Purser there to Jameson, and she puts the tag down, but the runner will advance to third. So Allen with a little bit of a base running blunder there. Smart play by Castero to come home, and good job on the rundown by Lynn. Fortunately, the runner was able to advance to third base during the rundown, so Taphouse went to third. Allen was retired, and Phillips advances to first on a fielder's choice. So now Dooley with another chance to help herself with 1 out here in the 6th and a runner on third base. Pitch swung on. Purser keeps it fair. Nice job, and throws across to get Dooley. So Jameson gotten this one out. It really could have gotten away, and now she's worked 2 quick outs on the infield and could see her way out of this one, as this is Matic about to bat. This one popped up on the infield, and Purser will make the play in foul territory. So Jameson does give up 1 run, but escapes the jam without giving up any more. We head to the bottom of the 6th with the score, Tampa 1 and Lynn 0. You're watching Fun Night Softball on LSN. All right, so Brittany Purser gets Lynn started with a base hit on the infield, and now that's going to bring Castero to the plate. So Lynn finally gets a hit.
Stop number 12, Natalie Castero.
And breaks up Dooley's no-hitter and perfect game. As now Castero will have a chance to move her around. That one is caught by the third baseman, Worrell. So moving quickly as Worrell makes the play. And now that's going to bring Hastings to the plate with Purser on first.
The catcher, number 3, Grace Hastings.
And one out. So officially hit there for Purser. Bunt laid down. Dooley has one play, throws over to first, and that will retire Hastings on the sacrifice. So Lynn gets the runner into scoring position for the top of the order, and now it's Mackenzie Wyatt who will have a chance
Back to the top of the lineup for the Fighting Knights.
to drive in Purser.
Number 1, Mackenzie Wyatt.
And this is definitely the best chance Lynn has gotten in this game. It's only base runner, and this is the time to take advantage of that if you are the Fighting Knights. So Wyatt tasked with picking up a big hit here. This is the spot in the game. You got the runner in scoring position. And Dooley got a chance to tie it up. Dooley with that pitch. It's in there to Wyatt on the corner. For strike one.
Wyatt's the batter you want in this situation. She did have a hit yesterday against Dooley.
And she's shown a good approach at the plate, knowing that Dooley's going to go away. Goes away again. Looks like the runner is taking off for third, Purser, and she'll get there. So now the job becomes easier for Wyatt, and she just needs a base hit against Dooley to tie it up. 1-1 the count here. That pitch is high. So 2-1 now. Wyatt might see the pitch to hit right here. That one's on the corner, so 2-2 the count now. Dooley set the 2-2, swung on by Wyatt, and play is going to be made there as it hangs up for the shortstop Balmer. So Lynn with a chance, but unable to capitalize. As we will head to the top of the 7th with the score, Tampa 1 and Lynn 0. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN. All right, so now Balmer will dig in here in the top of the 7th. Obviously, Jameston needs to set down Tampa without getting any runs coming across for them. And then Lynn will have to solve Dooley, who is throwing a no-hitter right now and actually has a perfect game going, has allowed just one base runner on that error by the first baseman.
So not a perfect game.
There. That one is off the glove of Purser and in there. So the error almost comes back to bite Dooley, but Purser able to make the play over across the diamond. So 1 out here in the 7th. And now this will be the top of the lineup.
Batting right fielder number 13, Lexi Chevalier.
Lexi Chevalier. Chevalier has been on base 2 out of 3 times, reached on an error by Purser in the first. Jameson taking a little time before getting this at bat going.
She now has thrown an even 100 pitches.
And it's 101, and it's outside to Chevalier. Chevalier reached on that error in the first by Purser. Single to left in the third, and popped out to second in the 5th. That pitch swung on, hit hard, and it's going to get under the glove of Purser and out into left field for a base hit. So, tough play there for Brittany. That will give a base runner for the Spartans. Chevalier getting on base again.
Now batting first baseman
as
Emily Jansen.
That'll bring Emily Jansen to the plate with 1 out here, and Chevalier on first. 3rd time reaching base on the day. So that'll actually be the 2nd error of the day on Purser, as both errors have come with Chevalier at the plate. Chevalier will certainly take that. Pitch from Jameson. Bunt tried to be laid down here by Jansen, but fouled off at the plate. So that's a strike now to Jansen. Lynn ahead 61-53 with just under 10 minutes left in the second half. So the Fighting Knights starting to pull away, at least for now, in this second half. This one flied out to left. Valise under it easily. And that will be the 2nd out of the inning now, as Jameson needs to set down Tampa without allowing a run and hope that the offense can get something going. May just take 1 hit, but Lynn is still in search of its first hit off Dooley. The pitch is
Now batting center fielder
inside.
Corinne
Miner has scored the lone run of the day for Tampa. Came around to score in the 6th. Popped out to first, grounded out to short in the 1st and the 4th before walking and coming around to score in the 6th. This one swung on by Miner and fouled straight back. It's a big walk that Miner was able to work. Count as 1-1, but it was a big walk that Miner was able to work. Provided that leadoff base runner for Tampa in the 6th. And then Miner was moved over on what should have been a sacrifice by Whirl, but she was able to reach first base via the error. And that really changed the game. This one swung on, hit well, and it's going to fall in front of Valise. So that is a hit for Miner. And now 1st and 2nd for the Spartans as they try to add some insurance here in the top of the 2nd, or in the top of the 7th, with now Worrell coming to the plate.
Third baseman number 44, Sam Worrell.
First pitch to Whirl in there for a strike. Whirl 0 for 3 to get on base last time, and it was a big one. She kind of put the pressure on Jamestown with that bunt attempt, and Jamestown was not up to the task as Whirl reached, and that put runners on first and second. That sort of changed the game there in the 6th inning as Tampa was able to get this one crucial run, which may hold up. It's going to require Lynn to pick up a hit here in order to get the job done and extend this game. The 1-1 pitch, Jamestown. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. As it's left there by Whirl, and the count now 1-2. Set, and the pitch is swung on and smashed down the left field line. Hooking foul. But boy, that was close, as that probably would have finished Lynn off there.
Yeah.
Being down then by 4 runs if that one would have found its way out. But just in front of it was Whirl. So Lynn will take it, and we will do the 1-2 pitch again. Here in the top of the 7th, due up for the Fighting Knights. 2, 3, 4, Aronson, Diaz, and Sheffield. So there's some hope, but Dooley has not allowed a hit yet. So not as much hope as you'd think. That one swung on and fouled straight back. So not an easy out, Whirl. 275 for her. Actually 0 for 3 in the game. Pitch swung on and hit hard again by Whirl. So she's on the pitches. Just hasn't been able to straighten them out in between the white lines.
That one's into the Spartans dugout. Watch out over there.
Yeah, not a whole lot of protection. So you got to look alive. Even when you're off the field, could still be in a dangerous area. Jamestown ready. Long look in and the 1-2. Swung on, hit well, and a diving play is made at second base by DeVesa.
Aronson.
Or that's Aronson. My mistake. So Aronson makes the play at second, and we will head to the bottom of the 7th with Lynn needing 1 run to extend the game, trailing 1-0. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN. So Aronson will dig in. I believe we have a replay here to show you of that nice play made by Aronson on the dive to keep Lynn within 1 to end the 7th. And now, fittingly, she comes to the dish to try to extend this game.
Fighting Knights still looking
the
for
bottom
their
half.
first hit.
Yep. Dooley. We knew coming in weren't going to be very many hits off of her. And none so far through 6. Yesterday, Dooley gave up just 2 hits.
There you go. 1 a home run and 1 a single in the 7th.
Yeah, you're not going to find very many hits off of this girl. And it's been the case today. Dooley went, 2 hits, 1 earned over 7 innings, only threw 69 pitches yesterday. So she's efficient, and she's only at 63 pitches right now. And the count is 1-1 to Aronson.
2-1.
Should be 2-1.
2-1.
2-1 now. The 2-1. Oh, outside. So feel like Dooley's been getting that call all day. But now the count is 3-1. Pitch is swung on by Aronson, so now the count full.
Just a little late on that pitch.
Yeah,
that was the one.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen Dooley just, even when she does throw that pitch to hit, the hitters just seem so off balance that they're not able to get the bat around and really barrel it up. The 3-2. Aronson did not go.
Ball 4.
And that's ball 4. So that's the first walk of the game for Dooley. And it'll give Lynn a base runner. Leadoff base runner in the bottom of the 7th. That's what you need.
Right fielder number 6, Liz Diaz.
And unless anything like a double play happens, you're going to have the opportunity for the winning run to come to the plate at least 3 times.
And Liz hit a home run against Dooley yesterday, but do you want her to lay down a bunt and move Aronson over? Because I think that's almost more important, but with no, I don't know.
Yeah,
Tough call here.
I mean, I would think you'd want to move the runner into scoring position. It's going to take a hit to win the game, though. So maybe with somebody like Diaz at the plate, you'll take a chance. But Aronson went for it. Diaz swings on this one, and it's in foul territory. The play is made over there, and yes, it is. Hard to see, but the play was made by the left fielder Reyes, and that meant Aronson had to go back to first base. So Diaz put a charge into one, but couldn't get it out or out of play as Reyes makes the play down the line. And now Kayla Sheffield, we'll see what the approach is here now with Sheffield at the plate.
Coach Moore a little disappointed in Aronson with a ball all the way down there in the corner. Aronson had an opportunity to be at second right now, but it's hard. There's no first base coach for this team.
Yeah, could have tried to tag up, but she did not have the right advice, or maybe just wasn't sure if that ball was going to be foul. But now Sheffield swings on the first pitch from Dooley and misses, so 0-1 the count. If you're Lynn, this is exactly what you want, though. You have the opportunity here. Now you got to try to take it. Sheffield, big swing and a miss. Quickly down 0-2. It looks like Lynn's not going to elect to play small ball. Coach Moore just going to talk to Sheffield a little bit, trying to get her in the right mode here. Like that swing, she was swinging out of her shoes. Don't need to hit the game-winning home run.
She has the potential to do so, but
you don't need it, though. A hit is almost just as good at this point, as the outfielders, especially in center, are playing pretty deep. Lynn starting to pull away, 69-59 with 4:30 left in the game. This one swung on by Sheffield in the middle, but she's able to foul it off. So we will see the 0-2 pitch again. Sheffield up, Valise up next. So like we said, this is the part of the Lynn lineup you wanted in the bottom of the 7th. So they look to try to solve Dooley. And the 0-2 pitch swung on by Sheffield, served high into foul territory and out of play. Watch out. Tampa fans had to be on the move to our right as it gets out of play and lands in the stands off the first base side of home plate behind the screen. So 0-2, still the count to Sheffield. Not an easy out here. That one is a snap throw down to first, a ball. So 1-2 now to Sheffield as like Dooley was trying to get her to chase. Farrell tried to snap one down there behind Aronson, but Shale was back in safely.
Sheffield
one swung on again, so
she's 0-5 against Dooley this season.
And
4 strikeouts and a pop-up to second.
Yeah, fouling off pitches at the plate, but have not been able to get around on him. And Dooley's tough. I mean, if you can live on that outside corner, especially when you're ahead in the count, hitters really have to take a different approach. Can't really turn on one, and then she comes back inside, and Sheffield swings over top. So now 2 outs, and the last hope for the Fighting Knights here in Game 1 of the doubleheader is Mia Valise. Especially somebody like Valise. You're looking to just to hit one hard somewhere and move the runner, Aronson, around. Tries to do that, but slaps it foul, out of play down the third base line.
Almost caught by Coach Still's husband over there.
Yeah, both balls that Valise have hit today have gone to the left side. A fly out to left and a foul out to the shortstop. Balmer in the 5th. That fly out to left in the 2nd. So this is Valise's 3rd at bat. And now she is down to her last strike as Dooley can complete the no-hitter here with 1 pitch. The 0-2 from Dooley. Swung on by Valise, popped up, and out of play. As fans are not safe today. A lot of weak swings, which means a lot of close foul balls just getting out of play and right into the fan area. Fan area here is a pretty loose term. Fans are pretty much everywhere.
Yeah,
but
on top of the dugouts and everything.
The 0-2 again, and Valise thought about slapping that one. She doesn't, but the snap throw behind Aronson, and she is toast at first base. So not the way you want the game to end if you're Lynn with that base running blunder, and game 1 will go to the Spartans. So we will step aside and be back here with more action for game 3 of the series, game 2 of the doubleheader after this, with game 1 going to Tampa by a final score of 1-0. So for Darren Jurgen and the Czar, we will be back here shortly.